What's up everyone? In this video we're going to show you how to take off and reinstall a TH400. Now obviously this is not in a vehicle, it's sitting outside of it, but the premise is going to be the same. Just a lot less struggle trying to, manhandle it up above your head. You need some basic hand tools. You can use electric tools like I'm going to be rocking, the old impacts, as well as not so impact. You're going to need pry bar and a rubber, or in this case, a leather mallet. I prefer the leather mallets. They're a little bit more forgiving, but still have a little bit more impact than the rubber ones that want to snap back and hit you in the face. You're going to want to grab yourself a set of these type of wrenches right here, commonly referred to as like brake line wrenches. They're going to help you get your coolant lines on and off without causing a total mayhem of a nightmare. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. The very first thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is lubricate everything. Of course, this is a Chevy 350, so everything came pre-lubricated. You don't have to worry about it. It leaks more oil than the XN Valdez. The other thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is there's a dust shield underneath here. We're going to take this off. That will expose your torque converter. That's what converts your power from your engine into rotational power for your automatic transmission. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is remove the starter. It's pretty straightforward. On this particular vehicle, it's accessed from below, and on other vehicles you might be seeing it going into the bell housing. Might be on the passenger side, might be on the driver's side, but go ahead and save yourself some time by taking this off. Sometimes you might need to give this a little bit of persuasion, but this came off pretty nicely. I'll just scoot that out of the way. Then once you get the starter out of the way, you're going to want to use your tool for brake lines to remove your coolant lines. Once they're out of your way, we can go ahead and remove things like your speedometer cable, your kickdown linkages, or in this case, being a TH400, it is electronic, so you have to find the little plug, unplug it. Any other sensors, make sure you remove them. Now we just remove the vacuum line, and then we can get into the actual meat and potatoes of removing this. Now this is the fuel lines from the engine. This does get run through near the dipstick tube, so remember that. In our case, we're going to just go ahead and take them off. Now the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is remove the dust shield. That will expose our torque converter, and it's pretty straightforward. This particular one has 4 bolts. Some of them are going to be flush along the bell housing, which is completely round. In this particular case, the bell housing kind of has this weird 45-degree cutout down towards, I don't know why they did that. GM is funny with some of the stuff they do. So we're just going to go ahead, stuff it on there. Make a lot of noise. Lose the bolt. Don't lose the bolt, guys. We're going to use those. Once the bolts are removed, the dust shield should fall right out of the way. It won't now because I have it on this. If I scoot it, that's like that maybe. Don't lose these. These are particularly nice and sharp. Be nice tire getters. And you also have to buy them again. So you'll be buying a tire and bolts. There it is. Woo! And that's why it's also on the engine hoist. Whether you're replacing the main seal on the back of the transmission, or either main seal or pump seal or whatever you might be doing, this is a good indicator that you should be doing it even if you weren't planning on it. This thing is leaking automatic transmission fluid. Not an excessive amount, but while it's out, do that now. I had to move her because she's a little bit curious when she's sitting on here. That's why she's on an engine hoist too. And yeah, so the next thing we're going to do is remove the torque converter. Now, to remove the bolts, you can look right in the front of the flex plate, and you may have to rotate your crank in order for you to see the first bolt. You will definitely have to rotate the crank to be able to get them all out. But once you get access to them, it's just a matter of a little swift hit. And they're short because they don't have much room to be able to be in there in the first place. Don't lose these. You don't just go to Ace and get cheap ones and put them back in there. They shear, you're going to hate your life. Now you can tell when you've removed all of the torque converter bolts when you can rotate the flex plate separately from the torque converter. Now we can do the fun part, and that is removing all of the bolts on the top here and then separating the bell housing from the actual engine itself. Now the reason why we've removed the torque converter from the flex plate is because you really should not remove the torque converter from the transmission while separating it from the engine. You can cause damage. Don't do that. So we're going to go ahead and take this guy, and I believe it's this one here. Nope. I believe it's this one here. Okay. I believe it's this. Again, hold on to these bolts, don't get rid of them. Any type of mounting bracket, or in this case, this is kind of important if you're going to be putting it back together. This is, some of your wires go through this so they don't get burnt by your exhaust. So don't get rid of that. Take your first rag and clean up around your transmission tube as best you can. You want to get as much of this crap that might fall in there out of the way. If you have air, blow some air around it too. Whatever it takes. Now, there's going to be an rubber, not quite O-ring, but something similar to that. It may or may not come out with the dipstick tube, which in this case it won't. So gently remove it and stuff your rag down inside there. You should replace the O-ring grommet, I could call it more of a grommet, and not reuse that. I'm very lucky, again, 350s like to leak oil all over the place, so it looks like this is going to come apart very easily. So where we're going to go from here is just make sure our torque converter's free again. Just, you know, it moves separately from the flex plate. Pull it back as far as it wants to go. And then it does seem like it wants to go already, but I'm going to just give her a little love tap. There you go. This side was going to fight me. Little love tap to let her go. Move this out of the way because it will get crushed otherwise. Give her a little wiggle. You may need to put a pry bar on it. I don't know where you're going to get it from below, but it looks like we got a little bit of a fight on this side. There we go. There we go. Now that it's out, you can go ahead and do whatever you have to do, whether it's replace the engine, replace the transmission, rear main seal, front main seal. I don't know, maybe you're putting a better torque converter in it so you can do better burnouts or drag races and stuff like that. Whatever you're doing, do it. When you go put it back together, I was planning on putting it right back on to show you because this thing is wanting to come off of here. I think it might not be a good idea. But the principle is exactly the same as taking it off. You reapply it, you install it back the same way it came out. Reverse the settings, except for one thing I want to warn you, whether you're doing a manual transmission or an automatic transmission, do not use the bolts that go through the bell housing to the engine to align it and pull it in. It should go straight together. The other thing is, it is pretty, you might want to just go ahead and throw your torque converter back on your transmission and then slap it back in there. But read your instructions, your manual, your field manual, whatever you have, to see how the torque converter goes back on to your pump. Because if you don't have the pump fully engaged, you will burn your transmission up, and that will really, really suck. So make sure it's fully engaged. Sometimes it feels like it's fully engaged, but if you wiggle a little bit more, you'll actually feel it go in a little bit further. So make sure your torque converter is fully engaging your transmission pump, or God forbid, you're going to have a really bad time. So on that, put it back together. Do not use the bolts from the bell housing to the back of the engine to suck it in. It's going to want to fight you, sure. Make sure your pins, your alignment dowels are nice and clean. You're not going to be trying to deal with the crap that's on it, and then just put it back on. That's it. It's all pretty straightforward, guys. Remember, Don't get crap in here that doesn't need to be in here. Plug all the holes. And until next time, remember, keep your shiny side up. God bless.